Hello and welcome back to Ralph Wilson Stadium. Just think where we were a year ago at this time. Rex Ryan was the head coach of the New York Jets. LaShawn McCoy was a Philadelphia Eagle, and the Buffalo Bills were still in search of an owner. Maybe the one common denominator between last year and this year, we're still in search of a starting quarterback. Let's dive right into this. Looking ahead to today's game, Syracuse is going to need a big performance out of every offensive player, but maybe their biggest offensive threat. Who's your impact player? It seems there's no challenge Rex Ryan won't back away from. First, this summer, just for kicks, he jumped out of an airplane. Now, it's eating a dog biscuit. Just an exciting finish to the Cheez-It 355 was eclipsed by the events that happened just 24 hours ago. The dreams of one day becoming a Hall of Famer became a little more real as Reed slipped on that gold jacket. A great moment in SU football history thanks to Dante Davis, a 3-year letterman. Davis played for both Greg Robinson and Doug Marrone. He caught 62 passes for the Orange. Following his SU career, Davis played 2 seasons in the Canadian Football League for the Montreal Alouettes. Today, Dante busy giving back, hosting youth camps throughout the country. And with that, we welcome back to the Carrier Dome Dante Davis. Dante, thank you for giving us a few minutes today. Tonight, the lights return to the greater Rochester area. The first Friday of high school football officially here. Our featured game tonight, a rematch of last year's Class A title game. The Braves of Canandaigua struggling to get the offense going. They watched Brockport dance all the way to that sectional title. The injury bug hit during training camp, but apparently that bug likes wings because he keeps biting Buffalo. Marshall Street was buzzing today with students returning from spring break, but the discussion wasn't so much about spring break travel as it was the face of the university deciding to announce his retirement. If Superman's only weakness is kryptonite, then the Amerks' only weakness, Toronto Marlies. Flower City's hockey club hasn't seen a win against Toronto since last November. In fact, the last time these two clubs met, Marlies put up a 10 spot immediately following. Tim Murray made a massive 7-player trade with Ottawa. The new look Amerks responding tonight, once again playing Toronto. If playoff hockey is a battle, then the Lightning Penguins series has been nothing short of a war. After 6 arduous battles, we're back to where it all started. All even, meaning it's down to tonight's Game 7 for Ryan Callahan of the Bolts. Reinforcements on the way in the form of Steven Stamkos returning for the first time this postseason. We all wondered how rusty Stamkos would be. We didn't know a boy named Rust was going to take over Game 7. Wicked wrister top Ched. It's 1-0 Pens. Later in the second, Tampa responds with their surprise player, Jonathan Drouin, patiently waiting. No-look wrister, and apparently Matt Murray wasn't looking either. He ties the game at 1. Don't blink, you're going to miss the next goal. 30 seconds later, Pens getting that go-ahead goal, and if you haven't heard, Rust is the new gold. Brian Rust pokes home his second of the night. 2-1 Pens. Closing moments of the third, Bolts still down 1. Pens winning the draw to the corner, and that is your Eastern Conference Final. Tampa can't get it free. Ryan Callahan's second straight trip to the conference finals ends in a loss. Rookie Brian Rust, the difference amongst the all-star lineup, a murderer's row of goal scorers on both sides. His 2 goals lifting the Pens to the Stanley Cup Final, where Pittsburgh will now face San Jose. 31st Olympiad welcome back the sport of wrestling. Watching intently from their home in Penfield, Scott Kropman and his 7 children. Wrestling isn't just a sport for this family, it means more. Wrestling is a way of life.
You gotta keep wrestling. A lot of time, buddy, a lot of time. Go for it, buddy, there you go. He's gonna get better every match. So for him, losing is gonna make him better.
Losing is one thing the Kropmans can't do.
We don't like to lose at all.
This family fights for more than just a win.
I like to wrestle for him because it makes me feel good.
Because every match and every day are not guaranteed.
There's been times where literally I couldn't even take a full breath because the pain was so bad.
Penfield's Scott Kropman treasures each day.
I'd like to say lucky, but I've been blessed.
Hard to believe for a man fighting stage 4 cancer.
I'm battling neuroendocrine or carcinoid cancer, stage 4, so it's in every bone from my hips to my jaw.
And he has been for the past 4 years. Kropman says he only feels pain when the cancer becomes active.
I try to live my life just like I did before the cancer.
Life before his battle involved a battle.
Wrestling is basically my whole life.
Without wrestling, I don't know if I'd be the same person. It's kind of in my blood. It's really what I've been doing for my whole life.
Wrestling, I think, psychologically is probably the toughest sport there is.
At face value, wrestling is a one-on-one contest, and oftentimes fighting cancer can seem similar. But the Kropmans are a team, on and off the mat.
I always think that, all right, he gets up in the morning, he goes to work, he does all this stuff while he's fighting such a tough illness and such a hard battle. So if he can do it, I can do this. I mean, this is nothing compared to that.
Between my family, my friends, God, I mean, and everything combined allows me to live every day, even in pain, what I'd like to say painless.
So while the Kropmans continue to battle for their father, Scott fights on every day for them.
My goal from here on out is to keep battling the way I battled and to really pave, the way for my younger kids that I paved for my older kids, and that I hope that they follow in the footsteps of, you have to work hard, you have to be determined, you have to have conviction, and you have to be willing to sometimes sacrifice things that maybe others don't have to sacrifice to get to those goals.
An amazing story, an amazing family. Scott says while the pain has returned this summer, he takes one day at a time, and I'm happy to report that he has enjoyed these Olympic Games pain-free with his family. Amanda?